Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. This time to the FIguarts Kamen Rider Horobi. So, let's get started. Just in case you guys didn't know, this is a P Bandai exclusive. So for those who are gonna complain, you already know what to do. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, we're into our third rider now for the 01 line. And I gotta honestly say, I like 01. I had one issue. I absolutely adored Vulcan. So getting this guy has actually been it's been a lot of fun actually. I already knew what I was expecting, considering it looked like it was built on the Vulcan body. But yeah, just to say, yep, I'm kind of still happy. But either way, let's jump to the review. Let's talk about it. Our look on Horobi is actually really solid. I mean, I really enjoyed the way the design came out. I think it translates really well into a figure. I think the only drawback that I'm having is that, I don't know. I can't, you know what? I was having a drawback, but then I was like, you know what? SHF upgrade for the neck pegs will always be a thing for me. And that's kind of where my drawback always lies. It's like the neck peg, it sits a little too short. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, but I always get SHF upgrade for that. So I don't think that's going to be one of my things, because at this point, I think that's the way it's always going to be. And I found my solution. For those of you that don't, do that, I'm sorry. Some people may be happy with it, so that's on them. But overall, I think the look and how he came out looks absolutely fantastic. He shines well in the light because of the gloss purple. The matte design on the grays, being that the grays are two different designs, is really nice because it has the Sting Scorpion motif, and it's actually like a forced on evolution, transformation, not evolution. You see that the plates are actually, even though they're asymmetrical here, because you have the Sting Scorpion part, for the most part, the design is the mechanical plate design, and then it's the clear sheet metal design. And I really like how it translated well on this purple. Purple Riders have been doing a really great job. There's Chase, there's Rogue, and now we have Horobi. And it's a really great design. Now, other than his actual look being just utterly fantastic and working for me, I gotta honestly say it does work well as a figure too. Just to not, whatever. I'm at a loss for words. But yeah, now that we have our look, we've seen what we've gotten, let's jump into articulation, which is kind of my favorite part. Our head can go up. And as you can see, my neck is actually rotated to the side. So I'm actually gonna rotate that to an even spot. There we go. Our head can look up. It can look down, just not very far down. As you can see, he kind of has this chin guard there. If it's set a little higher with some SHF pegs, he can look even further down. We can tilt side to side. Even with the collar in the way, we get a little bit of tilt. Actually, we get a lot of tilt. It's just my neck peg was stuck. So yeah, we actually get a lot of tilt too. So that means more expression, which is always great. Our arm articulation is actually really cool because you use the traditional, you can pull it out and get that extra extension, which allows you to rotate around. As it will be gappy for those of you who don't care for that kind of stuff. I actually adore it. Now, what's really cool is here, the armband still is a cool shoulder piece that they've added on kind of in there. It fills in and rotates up and down. And then we have our bicep swivel. And then Horobi is double jointed, so that means he gets great range here for the arm. That means rotating all the way around is not an issue for him at all. As far as our upper torso goes, let's actually get those arms out so you guys can see it. As far as the upper torso goes, we can go left, we can go right, we can go backwards. We can't get too far back, but it's pretty decent. And we have a really decent crunch going forward, which is great. Our belt can move around, which gives you room for wiggle. Room for movement and wiggle. You can actually remove his progress key. So let's actually put that down here. Hopefully I don't lose that. And his force riser cannot do the gimmick. So just keep that in mind. The force riser has no gimmick part, which is a little bit of a bummer, but yeah, it is what it is. As far as our legs go, one of my issues that I thought that I would have, but it's actually cleared up. This is kind of still not a soft plastic here, which I'm kind of okay with, but you can actually tuck the leg under just enough so that way he can reach his leg out. I thought it would get in the way, but it's actually just fine. There is a thigh swivel as well. So thigh swivel is there. We can actually pull our leg all the way forward with no problem. And we are double jointed, as you can see here. We have a forward and backwards movement, and we can tilt in just a tad bit, but not a whole lot. But it's enough to get enough articulation and range for Horobi to get into some cool poses. So don't think Horobi can't move, because he can. Horobi can definitely move. As you can see here, he looks fantastic, just quickly posed up. And it's one of those things, like I said, I really like because he actually came out well enough so that he didn't look too skinny. The proportions are a lot better. The head isn't too small. The visor uses compound eyes, which I've always enjoyed about Kamen Rider. So yeah, he posing up, he's gonna be dope. And as you can see, he has this thing scorpion motif. This does not come off. And if you're worried about this part of the fusion coil coming out, it does come out, and that's totally fine because it's soft plastic and can wiggle around, and it can go right back in to the scorpion piece. It just tucks right back in, so don't worry about it. I am not gonna worry about mine just coming out because posing him up, I'm probably gonna do that all the time. If you're worried about whether or not he can do a rider kick or balancing on one leg, let's actually test that out right now. I was actually worried because I was seeing a bunch of people pose him by not kicking very high. This is about as high as he'll get without messing up anything. So I'm posing it literally as high as it can get. Let's see if he can balance. Come on, Horobi. Let's see what you can do. And I don't think he can because we have a flat foot here, but for some reason it just doesn't sit well. Oh, wait, I was wrong. I corrected myself. I'm wrong. I was wrong, y'all. I was wrong. So yeah, Horobi can kick at a decent rate, but it can't go much higher than that. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind when you're messing around with Horobi. Real quick now, guys, we're going to jump into the what he comes with pretty much. So yeah, let's jump into that. I'm gonna pose him up pretty decently, get him in a nice little, oh, actually, we do use, oh, wait, I was wrong. We have the drop down method, so we can actually get, we're not gonna get higher because of the way the leg armor is, but with the drop down method, you can actually tuck in and under. I was afraid he did not come with it, but he does. So let me just correct myself as we go along together in this journey of reviewing. So yeah, let's get him all nice and mean and get him all posed up in the background. Now guys, let's talk about what Horobi comes with. I'm gonna do that little slide transition. All right guys, now we're going over accessories with Horobi. And first things first, let's talk about the fact that he comes with the attach arrow. I really enjoyed that they gave him a signature weapon. At first I was worried he wouldn't come with it and we would have to buy something else like we did with 01 and Vulcan, but that's not the case here. He actually comes with the attach arrow, which is really dope. It does not fold into the suitcase. That does not bother me, considering it would be disproportionate, because in the show it folds out and it's actually really small, and then they do a battle version. We would all love it to do the gimmick, but I don't think that can work realistically. Now for the attach arrow, you can actually remove this back peg for the arrow part and then part swap into this for when he's pulling it up. So now you can aim your arrows, right? Your energy arrows, as you would say. So you have that. You previously saw the progress key that came in his belt. And then you'll get hands for holding it. So this is your hands for holding the attach arrow. These can also hold the attached shotgun and the attached blade. You'll get closed fists because you see he starts off with the open fist. And then you'll get hands for holding the attached arrow in its bow form when you are looking like you're going to shoot an arrow. So as you can see, it folds up. So you can either hold it like this, or you can hold it like this, depending on how you want to go about it. It's really up to you. For those of you that want to see, I'm going to show you in pictures. For those of you that want to see in video, when you have the, oh, that's the wrong one. When you have the arrow holding, the attached arrow holding hand, it holds the shotgun just fine. And as you can see, he comes with his open palms here, so you have no problem. Really, he doesn't come with much because Horobi's kind of Horobi. Like, he pretty much sticks to what he does. And if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend you give it a shot. If not, that's totally on you too. But with all that being said now, guys, we're going to jump into the size comparison. So let's do that. Hey guys, now we're going to jump into the size comparison part. This part's pretty easy. We get to see what it's like next to other FIguarts and other lines as well. So let's do that. I'm going to back up Horobi just a little bit so we have space to show him off with some other lines. So yeah, let me just stand him up straight up. Sorry, y'all, I got Ginger in my lap and she don't want to move. So yeah, anyway, let's do that. First things first, let's have him sized up against 01 and Vulcan. So let's do that. So here we are. I had Vulcan with a shotgun in, so I had to take that out. Let's stand him up. And I absolutely adored Vulcan, so I'm pretty sure I was going to be happy with Horobi. Ended up actually really happy with Horobi. Here he is size-wise. And then here we are with 0-1. So yeah, let's get that going. I'm gonna stand him straight up. So yeah, as we can see, their designs are all not the same. And that's pretty cool because it shows just how different things are in this show. And I'm really, really enjoying that. So yeah, Horobi fits in right well. Helmet wise is a little bit, actually, I have his head tucked in just a little. But if I stand him straight up, as you can see here, he fits along just well. I think it really, really works. Everything is different, but the same at once. Now, we're gonna move these guys over. Let's have them compared up to some other guys. Actually, let's do a Shaka combatant because I haven't done a Shaka guy in a while. And as you see, the Shaka guys are a little bit smaller, but they actually are technically, you know, more Showa era. And then we have up against another SHF, which would be Kamen Gates. And then we have Gates signed up. And then as we see here, Gates actually seems to be a little bit taller, but it works out. Then next up, we're going to do SHF Kamen Rider Kuga. This is where it gets a little more fun for me because this is the renewal body, and testing out the renewal bodies up against this definitely lets you know some more stuff, how it adds up. Next up, we're going to do how he looks next to an articulated icons ninja. So let's do that. Let's stand this ninja straight up. Yeah, there we go. The ninja's actually a little bit taller. He's more on the domestic side as well too. But I think for action photos or just having him stand behind him like an army, I think this really works very well. Let's remove these four. Right. I'm super excited for Valkyrie now. Next up, we're going to do a Lightning Collection Power Ranger. In case you want to cross your lines over, do any sort of super crossovers, this line might work well for you because while they're not much bigger, they tend to work very well. So yeah, here we are with Billy the Blue Ranger. He's a little bit taller, but I think it works out, especially if you're going to do some action shots. Next up, you has a Hasbro Retro Wave Spider-Man, which is on the 6-inch scale. And as you can see, he's much bigger than Horobi, but it is what it is, right? Next, we have our 1000 Toys Synthetic Carb, my main man made of mixed parts. And I think these guys work fantastic with both Horobi and 01 and Vulcan, because they are based on robots and this is more artificial intelligence. So you can use these guys as humor gear placements. And I think they work pretty well with Horobi, either being a backup army or even fighting against Horobi, in case you want to do some other cool stuff. Next up, we're going to do a Mezco Me on a Gomez body. Yeah. So even though Horobi is the smallest, you know, you can have fun and put him in there. I don't see why you couldn't, right? It's like being the short guy hanging out with your tall friends. I do it all the time. Shout out to G, who's not going to watch this, but I guarantee you he would appreciate this joke. So next up, we have a Mythic Legions Black Knight, which was repainted by Old Boy, so he won't have the same look. And as you can see here, he's clearly much, much bigger. But you can have some fun. Make him a big bad guy, right? Or a monster of the week. Whichever one you guys want to do. In the meantime, guys, I hope you very much enjoyed this video. Hope you found it informative. I hope you give Kamen Rider a shot. And if you don't, that's okay too. In the meantime, guys, have a good one. Please, be good, do good, drink your water. Later.